Let's start with the block underneath the hips. We'll start in a supported bridge. Roll down either the middle setting or the lowest setting. I have good ponytail placement, or I'm just poking the back of my head. So we'll let the block take on as much weight as you can give it, and letting the hips rest nice and heavy there. Turn the palms up toward the ceiling. Let the backs of the shoulder blades relax. You can either keep your feet hips width distance, knees bent. You can take your feet apart, knees together. That tends to kind of open up a little bit of space, but may not be so happy on the knees. You could take it a little bit more into a Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out, if you want to work hips as well. Or you can walk the feet forward. So kind of play with the best positioning for what your back is feeling. And we'll get settled into the floor here. Relax the throat, the jaw, space between the eyebrows. Take a full breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Do that again, breath in. Breath out. And seal the lips. Fill up the lungs. Gentle exhale at the nose. Let the shoulders soften a little more. Allow everything that's touching the ground or reaching toward the ground to get really heavy here. You shouldn't have to use very much strength or effort to stay in the posture. Take notice of the quality of the breath here, trying to smooth out your inhales and smooth out the exhales. I am a very strong Pitta dosha. When you look at the Ayurveda, 3 doshas, 3 constitutions, and Pittas tend to be very hot and fiery in nature, very deliberate, kind of type A, needing to have a lot of control, scheduling, and all this and that. And so whenever we start to get into a warmer season, I actually need to be more mindful of what my tendencies are, and knowing that the heat of spring going into summer can actually exasperate all of those kind of elements within my habits and my body. And so even for a pose like this, where we're on a block, where things are touching the ground in front of the block, behind the block, and around, without even realizing, sometimes parts of my body will tense up and feel like I need to help the work of the block. So I kind of have to unwind all of my Pitta tendencies to allow myself to really soften. And it's like an active softening where I have to talk to that body part and coax it and ask it to release. And then another body part will tense up that I wasn't realizing, and same kind of process. If you are feeling similar in that way, where you feel like you have to do more, I just want to offer that you have full permission to do less. That you can release, that it's okay to feel a little nervous and uncomfortable and icky about that release, but the letting go is the hardest part, and allowing ourselves to be held by the block, by the ground, will over time get a little easier. Two more slow breaths here. And we'll bring the feet back underneath the knees. Lift the hips so you can put this block on the lowest setting if you're not already there. We're going to take our legs up to the sky. And we can use the hands holding onto the block for a little more stability. And the feet can stay relaxed here, just allowing for some reverse circulation, letting things drain from the feet back into the body toward the heart. One more breath here. Bend the knees, bring the feet back to the floor. Lift the hips so you can slide the block out from underneath. And settle the spine into the ground. Hug your knees in, take a gentle rock. We'll roll to a side, doesn't matter which one. Use that to press your way up. Let's find a long child's pose. Taking the knees wide and reaching the arms forward. You give yourself plenty of space for the belly and the heart to drop through and down to the ground. Feel a firm connection of the head into the floor. You might even rock your head a little side to side here. From here, we'll walk the hands over to the right edge of the mat. Let your left hip sink back, nice and long, stretch through that left side. Once you're set up into that side stretch, soften. Make this a little less active than you would if we were to take this side stretch in a vinyasa class. One last breath on this side. Bring the arms back through center. Let's set up to the left. Stretching through the right side body. Letting the right hip sink back. And then once you find that full extension, relax and soften downward. One more breath here. Bring everything back through center. Let's start to rise up onto hands and knees. We'll start with a few cat-cows. Letting the breath carry you through the movement. Take your time and linger as you move through the spine. Any spot that needs a little extra time or a little bit more movement. The next time that you're in a rounded cat shape, we'll pause here. And a little bit of movement of the hips going back, maybe halfway. And from that position, adding a little bit of side to side, working the sides of the ribs, the sides of the lats. Then we'll come back to center and let's take 3 more rounds of cat-cow. Come back to a neutral spine. Let's thread the needle. Right arm floats up. Exhale, slide all the way through. I'm going to make this a little bit more passive, using the left forearm against the ground, allowing the hips to drag back and behind a little. One more breath here. Bring the left hand under the shoulder, press into the floor, open, right arm up. And release. Let's set up on the other side, left arm floats. Take it all the way through. Bring your right forearm to the floor for support. Allow the hips to drag back. Last breath here. Bring the right hand back underneath you, press to the floor, open. And exhale, release. And swing the legs forward and come to a seat. And take a simple cross-legged seat from here. Got a twist to the right. Right hand will go behind you, either to the floor or to a block. Left hand crosses over to the outer edge of your right leg. Inhale, press tall. Exhale, turn. And once you come into your twist, find a place where you feel just enough, and then we'll soften there. This isn't as active as we would normally take in a flowing class. We just want to get some movement through the spine, a little bit of compression through the belly. One more breath here. And then we're going to pick up your right hand, bring it to your right ear. Open your elbow behind you. We're going to drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Left shoulder down towards your left knee. We'll stay in the twist while adding the side bend. 3 breaths in. Inhale your way back up. And release out of the twist. Go the other side. Right hand crosses outer edge of your left leg. Left hand finds something behind you. Sit tall. There's your breath in. Exhale to turn. From here, pick up the left hand, bring it to your left ear. Open your left elbow behind you. Tip your right ear towards your right shoulder down towards your right knee. You can really let the head and the arms get heavy. The only effort here is really this right hand connecting with your left leg. One more breath. Inhale all the way back up. And release out of the twist. Sit at center, resting the hands on the thighs and let the head relax, the shoulders stay relaxed. Give yourself a few breaths here in center, feeling the spine nice and tall. And let's change the cross of the legs. We're going to add some eagle arms here, right elbow underneath the left, wrapping up toward the hands or grabbing opposite shoulders. Get your elbows off your chest and move them forward. Slide your shoulder blades back down. Feel the breath fill up the back body between the shoulder blades. Unwind the arms, take the elbows wide into cactus. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then we'll set up our eagle arms with the left elbow under, wrapping up toward the hands. Set your elbows away from the body. Soften the shoulders down. Release the arms, open. Little lift of the heart. And then we'll release. All right, we're gonna grab both the block and the bolster. And we're gonna set up a little slant here. So try the block in the middle setting and the bolster on top so that you have a little ramp. Similar to a twist that we've done in the past, it's a little lighter. So you're gonna bring your right hip right next to the base of your bolster. You can stack your knees. And we're gonna turn the chest with the hands on either side of your blocks. And we'll rest the upper body here. You can play with turning the head to the right, away from the legs. If that's too much of a twist into the upper body, you can turn right cheek down, looking to the left. So we want to allow for the body to just rest on your bolster with the prop underneath the bolster for a little more height. And if you find that that's a little too much height, you can always turn this block down. I wouldn't recommend going too high because then the bolster ends up getting very unstable. Two more. Press your way. Just start to bring the knees to the other side, hip next to your bolster, chest toward the bolster, and relax the head down. Okay, kind of test which side feels better, turning the head to the left away from the knees or to the right toward the knees. Two more breaths here. So, to side, roll down back, knees into the chest. And we'll start to kick in the correct direction. Are we good now? It just like went haywire. I didn't touch anything. All right, let's get back into our twist. We'll bring right knee in. We'll go right leg across. And if you want, you can add your bolster underneath the leg. We'll let the shoulders melt down into the floor. One more deep breath. Return the leg back to center. Shift your hips back to center. Go ahead and move our bolster on the other side. Extend your right leg long. Draw the left knee in and move it across to the right. Shift your hips to the left a little. Try to get those shoulder blades as close and flat to the floor as you can. Relax the belly once you get into your twist. Relax the glutes, the low back. Last breath here. Gently return everything back to center. Hug the knees in, take them wide. You can take a gentle rock from here if you want to take this into full happy baby, grabbing for the feet. Any final little movements here that you need, feel free to add. And then for Shavasana, we recommend a bolster just underneath the thighs to the knee. And it'll keep bend to the knees, allowing for your low back to settle into the floor, giving the full support of the ground. Flatten the shoulder blades down, turn your palms up. Rock your head side to side, releasing any tension that might still be left behind the neck. If you have blankets or an eye pillow, anything else that you want to add to make yourself more comfortable, feel free to do so. Once you're settled down into the floor, let's take 3 cleansing breaths here. Nice big inhale through your nose. Open mouth exhale. Again, big breath in. Let that go. Last one, fill all the way up. And release. As your breath finds its natural pattern here, see if you can find a sense of surrender within the body, within the mind. where there's no reason to hold back, no reason to hold back what you need to release to allow the body full rest. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. Roll through the wrists, the ankles. Reach long, take a full body stretch, yawn, move your jaw around. Hug the knees in, roll to your left, take a few breaths on your side. Press up with the hands. Let's find a comfortable cross-legged seat. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. Sit tall, soften the shoulders. And we'll seal our practice tonight with a single Om. First, take a full breath in through your nose. Sigh this breath out. Inhale to chant. Namaste. Well, that was super